The road get rocky again. I'm back in this thing and I brought me a friend. My sin and thought I could win. I throw up a prayer, it's gone with the wind. Okay, in the studio, locked in the gym.
Welcome guys, welcome. So I've created this video because this is one of the biggest problems, especially with you traders, that stops anybody in their tracks from making money and making progress with trading altogether, because you're focusing on the wrong thing. Until you learn to lose, you're never going to win. And I'm going to go through why that is in this video. So every edge with a positive expectancy works. If it doesn't work for you, then it's you that's having the problem. So most of us do this. Most of us are trying to avoid losing in a game where it's impossible to win without losing. We're focusing on the outcome of each specific trade, panicking. Oh, in case we take a loss, we could get 10 wins, but oh no, we're panicking about that loss. And it's this exact behavior that's preventing you from being consistent and profitable with your trading. So let me explain. So the fear of losing or being wrong, what you need to understand first is why you're scared of losing and where it comes from so you can fix it. Losing was drilled into us from an early age from our parents as bad or wrong. Thoughts we had that didn't fit with the parents' narrative. Bad, wrong. Then we went to school and failing was deemed as bad and wrong. And if we ever messed up outside school, after school, or anyone else, we were punished again. Bad, wrong. We live in a society where winning is everything and losing is bad, bad, bad. Now, it's this compounding of bad and wrong all of our lives that's created this fear of losing, which means we do anything we can to avoid it. And it's this, guys, that's stopping almost everybody that watches this, if you're not profitable, becoming a profitable trader. So how it affects your trading? Number one, risk aversion. I used to be so bad at this. This is the main cause of hesitation because you're scared of losing. If you're half decent at technicals, you'll see your setup line up. And even if you're really good at technicals, I got to the point where I was amazing at technical analysis. When it comes to entering a trade, I just couldn't do it. I was like, oh shit. I was waiting for the extra bit of candle confirmation. When it pushes like a little bit further into the profit, so then I could enter. Even though my risk to reward is a little bit skewed, but it gave me that extra bit of confirmation, that less of a loss, if that made sense. However, a lot of the time doing this, I'd find that, oh shit, oh no, it's turned back round and it's going back up to my stop loss. And I wouldn't take the loss. I'd move the stop loss up and up and up and up. And then I'd try trading my way out of the stop loss because I didn't want to take the loss. It hurt too much. And decision making, it clouds your judgment, leading you to make poor decisions based on emotion rather than logic. Now, fear is a strong emotion. And when you're scared, your fight or flight response triggers. When it's triggered, it shuts down the thinking part of your brain. It actually removes the blood to protect your vital organs, thinking you're in danger. So in that moment, you can't use your brain properly. So you're focused on the fear. And in that moment, you're focused on, you're not thinking about anything. You're just focused on getting out of that trade. Oh, no, I don't want to take a loss. So you're doing everything without thinking about your account balance, without thinking about your risk. And before you know it, this little 1% stop loss that you've made a huge ordeal over is now a 15% stop loss or a 30% stop loss or even more, even worse. You let it to blow your account when you could have simply chopped it off, waited for your next position, following your sample size, got in and made your money back. And that leads us on to overtrading, trying to claw back them losses, some stupid decisions, like the first trade we mentioned there. When you're letting that trade, move the stop loss a bit more, move it, I don't want to move it a bit more. You're trying to avoid that loss. And then you try flippy trade when you don't know what you're doing. And you've got to remember, you can't use your brain properly if your fight and flight is triggered. So every decision you're making then, when you relax, you look back, you're like, oh shit, why did I do that? Oh shit, it was so clear. But it's not clear when you're in that state of mind because your brain isn't working. And that is why you follow your trading plan. You have stop losses. You create your plan when you're at the most focused, engaged state, and then you follow that plan religiously, and it keeps you out of trouble and stops you, and stops your emotions flaring up. So can you see that all of these reactions are trying? It's your body trying to avoid you losing because you've associated losing with bad. You're panicking, you're fearful, you fight or flight. You don't want to experience it. People laughing at you when you was a kid. All these emotions come back. And these actions are all subconscious because of the years of compounding this avoidance from childhood. So what do we need to do? We need to start fixing this. So let's say if you go to the casino today, does the slot machine or the blackjack table stare you into an emotional mess? Or are you relaxed and happy? Do you get all stressed out and anxious that you might lose? No, you don't. You don't care. Because you've got to lose to win. And you've accepted the loss before you play the game. You can't be wrong because that doesn't make sense in the casino. Just like it doesn't make sense in trading. It's the illusion of technical analysis that makes you think you're right or wrong. When in reality, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about using technical analysis to identify your pattern or your edge and using that as a signal to enter a trade. The outcome of any trade is unknown. So because it's unknown, you can't be right or wrong, no matter how good you are at technical analysis. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's still a guess. So let's get on to fixing. So controlling the emotion, part 1, thinking in probabilities. So what is thinking in probabilities, guys? So quick example for you. A dice has 6 sides. This means you have a 1 in 6 chance of, say, throwing a 5. But does this mean with 6 throws that you're guaranteed a 5? No, because the outcome of every throw is random. We could see 2, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3. No 5 there. But over a large enough sample size, you'd see every number on average hitting around a 1/6 of the time. So what is thinking in probabilities in trading? It's easy to understand on paper, but difficult to execute with 100% belief and confidence. And that's because of that fear of losing. So let's say you have a 70% win rate on average over 100 trade sample size. This means theoretically, on average, you'd win 70 trades and lose 30 out of the 100 trades. Now, this is where it starts to become difficult because losses come in clusters and the outcome of every single trade is random. So we could have 7 losses in a row with a 70% win rate. Does it mean there's something wrong with the system or the edge if you're executing it flawlessly? No. So why do you all give up when it's part of the process? You go jump to another edge. Oh, we got a losing streak. Oh, all you're doing there is trying to avoid losing. And by trying to avoid losing, you're never making any progress because you're not doing the one thing that you need to do to become a successful trader, and that's learning how to lose. That learning to lose is learning to manage risk. And until you can manage risk, you can never make money. It's part of the process, guys. Just like the blackjack table, you lose 8 times in a row. Doesn't mean you're bad or wrong. If you lose 8 times in a row, do you even care? Maybe they'll be pissed off like, oh shit, luck's not on my side today. That's the attitude you need to take with the charts, with your MetaTrader. Roulette's almost a 50-50 win game as well on black or red. Get a look at the clusters. Sometimes you get 5 blacks in a row or 7 reds in a row. The outcome is unknown. You need to focus on what you can control, and that is your risk. I've got this chart here. Probability of seeing at least X consecutive losses within a 50 trade period. So like here, look, we have got the 7 trade loss with a 70% win rate, like we went through on this slide here. Now, there's only 1% chance of that happening, but it can still happen. This is why we manage risk. It's super, super important because we don't know if that 7 loss losing streak is coming the next 7 trades. We don't know that. So we don't want to go doing 20% here or not using the stop loss here because we don't know. This could happen very, very rarely, but it could happen. Next 7 trades, you risk 20%, for example, or 15%, and then you're risking, and then we get 7 losses in a row. And then what have you done? You've blown your account. And then what happens? You've got no money left. And then what happens? Oh, we have a 15 trade win streak straight after it. And that's normally what happens. You go from these losing streaks to win streaks quite often. It's normal. So the whole point of trading is to manage your risk and keep yourself in the game. You want to be managing your risk. So you want to be managing your risk in a way that if you take a loss, it doesn't matter. Don't care. Like at the casino. Oh, every pull of the wheel, every blackjack, it doesn't matter. Because you know how much you're betting, you accepted the risk, boom, that's it. If I win, I win, I lose, I lose. But if you're always winning more than you're losing, and you're following this systematically, you're never ever going to blow your account. you're never ever going to be losing money. It's just executing this with confidence and belief, managing the fear, managing the emotion, using these systems, understanding that this stuff's working against you, and trusting the probabilities of trading. That's what you've got to do. You've got to change your behavior. Until you change your behavior, you're never going to be able to trade. Professional traders think like this. So if you want to be a professional trader, there's no way around it. You can't bend the books or bend the rules. You've got to just do this. And it feels wrong. It feels scary. Of course it does. It's new. You've got to change who you are as a person. And the only way you change who you are is by taking action, following a process that you're not currently doing to become a different person, to get different results. Because doing what you're doing now is just going to get you the same results over and over again, which is what most people do. Then you give up and go get a shit job somewhere they don't like. So, how this relates to risk reward. So we've got trader 1 and trader 2 here. So looking quickly, you've got trader 1 here. 7 losses, 30% win rate. You're like, oh, fuck, I don't know this. It must be shit. And you've got trader 2 here. He's got 8 wins, 2 losses. He must be good. I want to go free signals. He must be better. But actually, this trader made more money. And there's one trader that trades like this, and he's crazy. It's Druzy Banks. And this guy is a fucking phenomenal trader with the way he trades and the way he plays with the probabilities. This guy will use a 10 pip stop loss, and sometimes he'll take 3-4 losses in a row. And I'm talking he's using 20 lots, 40 lots, 50 lots on these losses. Not a care in the world. He just executes his system absolutely flawlessly with these big numbers. And then he holds his trades. He makes his money back in his swings. He uses smaller stop losses, understanding that he's going to get stopped out and stopped out and stopped out. And then he lets the market make all the money back for him. Now, he's one of the biggest gurus on the internet for trading. And some people, newbies and stuff that can't trade, they're going to his group, you hit the stop loss, you did this, is stop loss. And it's like, can you see where the problem is here? It's not losing, it's not the stop losses, it's the fear that's inside you, stopping you progressing. Now, I don't personally like this style of trading here. It's not my style. And this is another thing we're going to go on to in the next slide, is finding your style of trading. Now, I prefer this style of trading. I've really crafted my trading so I can have a win ratio like this, but have a higher risk reward as well. But my trading is taking me a long time to learn, and a lot of it's instinctual as well, just from repetition. So what I recommend you do at first, because it's going to be very good for your emotion, is you need to find a system that has a 70 to 80% win rate and execute it and take profit at 20 pips. This is about making money. Take profit at 1-to-1. It isn't about holding to the moon or making this. No, it's about learning how to make money. And once you learn how to make money, then you can start adapting your system. Once you learn how to trade yourself, once you've got your mental game in place, then you can start making your stop loss smaller. Then you're going to have confidence. Then the world is your oyster. But until you do that, you need to simplify it down, play the probabilities, learn how to trade, let your body adapt and learn the mental framework that takes a long time. And then you can start looking at bigger risk rewards, this 1-to-10s. Stop getting distracted by the bullshit on Instagram. I tell you right now, you're going to be very disappointed if you go in a lot of these gurus groups. I've been in them all. I know it all. I did a lot of it for market research before I launched my new company. And a lot of them build a lot of false perception around results, around, my 1-to-50, all these wins. And it's like, you go in there, you're going to be very disappointed. If you don't know how to manage risk, you would turn around and, as you normally do, jump around these, these stop losses, no good, blew my account. That's not the trading system. That's not them. Remember, that is you. I'm going to go on to that in a moment as well. So look, 1% per trade, 30% win rate, 1-to-4, $9,000 gain. 1% win rate, 1% per trade, 80% win rate, risk reward 1-to-1, 6% gain, 6K. Now, this one is a lot mentally easier to execute. This one, however, you can make a lot of money, in this way, but it takes time to build up the trust. So you find your feet, but you keep it simple. And you've got to remember that losing is normal. I don't want to see anyone watch this video like, there's stop loss, is it this? No, you need to get out of that mindset right now. If you're in that mindset, you're not going to ever go anywhere. You might as well just go back to McDonald's or, I don't know, Walmart and just go work there. Because losing is normal. Losing is good. Because it's your edge playing out. It's you following your plan. It's you following the process. As long as you're executing flawlessly, you know what you're doing. Your losses should not bother you in the slightest because it's part of the game. Market tax, you can call them.